Had to do that. Had to put the had to put the I can't even get it out. Had to give had to put the Bruce Lee. Um, oh man, I'm sorry, man. Um, what up, y'all? It's your boy, the one and only. Sorry, one and only A Switch, aka nigga unknown battlegrounds. That was so ignorant. I'm sorry. AKA uh the slushy drink slayer. AKA undisputed, undefeated, uncontested social distancing champion. Champion. AKA the Komaki Tiger Dropper. AKA the nigga lip master. Bringing you yet another episode of Switches Sites. Episode 133 to be exact. AKA the Post Game Awards edition late night special EX Plus Omega. For those that don't know, Switches Sites podcast is a solo gaming podcast where your boy just talks about just that, them games. Today's date is December 9th, 2021. Everybody getting all jolly. The weather outside is frightful. Weather outside is frightful ass motherfucker. Yeah, man. It's been a good week. Been a pretty good week, at least specifically. And on this high note, just came from the Game Awards, so just a lot of positivity and joy coming off that. What else? I think we already talked about Omicron last episode, so you know that's a thing. Anything notable outside of games I would like to address? That comes to mind, at least. Just get jolly. Get jolly. Damn. Just get jolly, you know? Just get jolly. I don't know. Just get jolly. Damn. Yeah, I guess that's really it. So yeah, at least in regards to this episode, gonna be a pretty juicy one. It's so juicy. Pretty much majority of this is probably gonna be the Game Awards. So just off the hype and excitement and celebration of games overall. So prepare your booties. I don't know why. You know what I mean. Okay. I'm sorry. Just the voice makes it weirder than I wanted it to be weird. So either way, I digress. Yeah. So you know what? Let's stop the dilly-dallying and get right into it. Okay. First, excuse me, topic of discussion, of course, the Game Awards. Again, shouts out to Jeff Keighley. Got a invite since the event was invite only, and man, it's a fun time. I really enjoyed it overall. Definitely didn't agree with some of the winners, but obviously that's kind of the fun of it, of the awards. So say we'll start it off and go over the winners, at least more than likely just a quick glance of the winners. So I guess we'll go into most anticipated game, Elden Ring, that won like twice. This is the second year running. I mean, I guess, hey, if it's hyped, it can be considered multiple times. Best esports game, League of Legends. I'm just gonna highlight relevant ones. Best multiplayer game, It Takes Two. Really felt I would have wished Knockout City Might Hunter Rise personally, but I totally understand It Takes Two as somebody who's not played that game yet. But best sim strategy game, Age of Empires 4. Best sports racing game, Forza Horizon 5 was taken up shop. Best family game, It Takes Two. Damn, that's taking out Mario Party Superstars, new Pokemon Snap, Mario's Super Mario 3D World, plus Bowser's Fury and WarioWare. Just cleaning. Best fighting game, Guilty Gear Strive. I think that's well deserved. I mean, personally, I would have rooted for Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown, but I mean, technically it's a re-released game, kind of. So I know it's not the ultimate widely well-received favorite. So Guilty Gear Strive, I respect it. Best RPG, Tales of Arise. Shin Megami Tensei 5 just robbed. I say that as if I played it, which I have not, but I respect it. Best action adventure game, Metroid Dread, which is good. I did not think I was very concerned that I thought Metroid wasn't going to win anything. Thankfully they did. So, yay. Hooray. Best action game, Returnal. This was a big one. Part of me was thinking it was going to be either Far Cry 6 or Deathloop, but glad Returnal got it. I totally stand behind that. At least haven't played majority of the games in that category. It definitely deserved it. Innovation and accessibility, which is basically games that are rewarded for having very well, I guess really the title does speaks for itself in terms of just evolving and progressing, games having more expansive accessibility options for people who can't play in the general typical fashion. So best VR AR game, Resident Evil 4. Oh, it definitely deserves it. I may be biased as that's technically kind of literally the only VR game I played at all especially out of this category. So, but I mean, damn, as somebody who just came into it and loved it, hey, I think it completed the mission. Best community support, Final Fantasy 14 Online. I knew this was gonna get it off the bat, at least from somebody from the outside in, hearing like all the positive stuff and I guess fervor for Final Fantasy 14. So good on them, especially now with Shadowbringers and The insane queue times. I was close. I was close. I was about to. I was about to do it, but I was like, oh, the queue times. Well, I guess they don't want me to join the fray. So, best mobile game, Genshin Impact. Part of me thought Pokemon Unite would have took it, but best debut indie game, Kenna Bridge of Spirits. Debut. Oh, they got two. That's interesting. So best debut indie game for the best debut game created by a new independent studio. Okay. Then there was best indie game, which Kenya, I think it's Kenna. No, Kenna also won as well. So best ongoing game, Final Fantasy 14 online as well. Yeah, I saw that coming. Games for Impact, Life is Strange, True Colors. Best performance, Maggie I think everybody called that one Maggie Robertson for Resident Evil Village, who's played the voice actress for Lady Dimitrescu. I mean, come on now. her character alone probably sold way more copies than expected, so that was a given. Best audio design, Forza Horizon 5. I personally would have went with Returnal, but I get it. Best score music, Near Replicant, version 1.22474487139. That would suck if you had to literally announce that. Best art direction, Deathloop. Best narrative, Guardians of the Galaxy. I totally agree. Really loved, was very surprised by the story of that game. Best game direction, Deathloop. And game of the year, It Takes Two. Joseph Ferris gets to say fuck the Oscars yet again. So, full circle. 2018, he said fuck the Oscars. 2021, fuck the Oscars again. Fuck the Oscars, the revenge of fuck the Oscars. They need to make that a movie at some point. I would watch it. Alongside the winners, of course, it wouldn't be the Game Awards without some juicy new announcements, peppered in between. Which, by the way, at least speaking on the Game Awards, I have to say this is probably one of the best paced award shows since probably the 2018 one. Yeah, the pacing was like just very, very concise and efficient, and not a lot of dead space and things like that. So bravo to the people, everybody involved with the Game Awards. Cannot say enough about the just overall pacing of the show. Just was just very minimal, if anything, scripted moments, or thank God no pre-screened faked interviews like, hey Bob, are you excited for making X game for this year? I sure am, Jill. So what we're gonna do, thank you so much. Yeah, so we'll probably skip a couple, at least get the very notable ones. Hellblade 2. We actually got technically this is gameplay. I think it seemed like gameplay of Hellblade 2. So pretty much more the same if you played the first one. Don't really want to spoil it if you're not aware of the plot. Since I think in turn it's kind of a spoiler if you talk about it, if that makes sense. So, um, but yeah, I mean, as somebody who's pretty lukewarm on the first one, I'm definitely open. Especially, I think this is gonna be Game Pass game, so more than likely gonna give this another go with the sequel. See what they do. Star Wars Eclipse. Uh, not gonna lie, at first when I saw it, I was like, okay, I know this is Star Wars, but I'm like, what? A part of me thought very like, I ain't gonna lie, it was probably like 75%. Was thinking like maybe, just maybe, it might be the cancel game coming back to life, being revived. That one really dope Star Wars game we saw like ages ago, Star Wars 1313, which I believe it was like some bounty hunter, and then it was like two bounty hunters. Like one is kind of like an apprentice, and a much older one, you know, is more seasoned, teaching them the ropes. And I thought maybe that it was possibly going to be that. It was not. Star Wars Eclipse, and I mean, depending on how you feel about it, from Quantic Dream, who are the folks that made Detroit Become Human, and what was it, Beyond Two Souls, and Fahrenheit 911, I think. Fahrenheit. Let me fact check myself. Let me fact check. Don't wanna misrepresent. Yeah, Detroit Become Human, Beyond Two Souls. I'm pretty sure they made some other ones as well. Yeah, Fahrenheit, just Fahrenheit. I think I'm getting it mixed up with some movie. Yeah, Heavy Rain, Fahrenheit, The Nomad Soul were the other previous games. So, depending on what you think about those games, I've yet to actually play any of those. So, I definitely plan to play more than likely probably Detroit, maybe at some point probably all of them, just to get a form and a valid separate opinion on it. But yeah, so Wonder Woman game made by the Shadows of Mordor people, Monolith Productions. That's that potential definitely seems to be great. I'd be down for Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. I'd be down for Wonder Woman game. Sign me up. Yeah, especially from those guys. At least gonna be pretty good. And of course, Alan Wake 2 officially announced. No, it's been highly rumored, highly insinuated, especially recently with the recent release of Alan Wake Remastered. So pretty good to get this confirmed, and at least they elaborated a little bit more after the trailer, and they did say this is going to be Remedy's first survival horror game. Let's fucking go. Sign me up. Whew. Can't wait. Cannot wait. PUBG supposedly is going to be free to play. AK nigga battlegrounds. Oh, I did nigga unknowns battlegrounds. So ignorant. Oh my god. Lord of the Rings Gollum was announced as well. So I'm very curious about this. I'd like to see some more gameplay. The premise does not, at least what was presented to us via trailer, it's hard to fathom this game being compelling, I guess. I don't know. I definitely would have to see some gameplay, because you're like what was considered one of the most weakest enemies or people in, at least in the Lord of the Rings universe. To some extent, at least, having not watched the whole series in I don't know how long. But Gollum, of all people, you play as him. How's that gonna work? You just run away from everybody and just have a dedicated "my precious" button. My precious. You just, I don't know. I'm curious, but I'm not sold. Cuphead DLC coming summer 2022. It seems like there was Cuphead, I think Mughead, and I forgot the girl. I think she's in the lore. Somebody who's not played Cuphead at all. I forgot her name, but basically a girl, a girl with a mug on her head. Mugmuda, Magod. That would be kind of clever. I'm not gonna lie, but so she's in the trailer and in at least shown in the gameplay as well. So I'm guessing maybe they added a 3-player co-op gameplay. I would guess, like maybe she's added and you can play maybe the previous the vanilla game with her with this DLC as well. But I'm curious to see. I mean, maybe they wouldn't, because maybe they have to be scaled for the new levels and stuff with this DLC, which it seems to insinuate, as somebody again who's not played Cuphead, but at least is somewhat familiar with like the premise, like Contra, but Contra would make it a 1950s cartoon kind of thing. At least that's the impression I got. So we also got a look, a tease of the next Sonic game, which is called Sonic Frontiers. It seems like it's a it's hard to ignore, but it was like, it seemed like Sonic Breath of the Wild. What would be more clever? Sonic, damn it, Sonic of the Wild. Sonic of the Wild. Zelda Sonic of the Wild. I don't know. There's something there. I'm just not seeing it yet. But yeah, it seems like a open world Sonic game, which is, I don't think we've had since Sonic Adventure, if I recall, having not played any of the games after any of the Sonic games after Sonic Adventure 2, admittedly as well. So, but it seems like the first legit 3D adventure game since Sonic Adventure, which definitely sounds promising, at least. We saw Rocksteady with the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League actual first gameplay. It was pretty dope. At the show, they had Deborah Wilson, who's I believe she's the voice actor of, what's her name? The leader, boss of the Suicide Squad. I forgot her name, but you know what I mean. Yeah. She's like, hey, this is classified information. Y'all better not show this. Y'all better not show it. I'm gonna kill everybody. Something like that. That's at least the impression I got. It's like, is the deep down, I know Jeff wanted to say it, but he couldn't. Is that angry black lady going? Can I post this video? Is the crazy black lady going? So yeah, but man, gameplay looks pretty dope. Not gonna lie. Pretty interested. The premise in of itself is pretty damn compelling. Freaking Suicide Squad, where at least how they like are framing it is that like you literally about to kill the Justice League. Like this ain't no joke. Like we gonna fight the Justice League. But they're good people. We can't kill them. No, y'all gonna kill them. They trying to kill us. We need to kill them first. And it seemed, it seemed like they could go there. That I think that in of itself, that premise is pretty enticing. So cannot wait to see more. I think it's coming out pretty soon. Maybe I think they gave a release date. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in 2022. The Justice League release date. Oh, 2022. So does not seem to be a confirmed release date. No. At least 2022. So we got a ballpark. Also forgot Sonic the movie. They also showed a trailer. I believe Ben Schwartz, who's the voice of Sonic in the movies, pretty much showed the trailer, and I ain't gonna lie, man, pretty hype. I'm definitely watching it. Definitely watching. You were rocking it with the mustache. He got his whole robot army ready to go. You got Tails joining the fray. Hey Sonic, I don't. that's the best I got. Then you got that motherfucker fighting freak Knuckles, ready to wreak havoc, ready to do anything for them Chaos Emeralds, at any cost. At any cost. It having that little snippet of Idris Elba's voice, I'm so pretty damn good. I'm like, damn, that's fucking Knuckles right there. So yeah, about to be hype. I'm definitely watching it as soon as it premieres. Space Marine 2, as somebody who's very unfamiliar with the Warhammer 40K, Warhammer 40,000, I think. I'm probably butchering it. I'm sorry, but that trailer was pretty visceral. Damn, he's like soldier stabbed this enemy, stabbed him with a chainsaw. Anyway, chainsaw gun, I think. And then while he ripping him in the chest, going decapitate his head while he chainsaw. I'm like, damn, this is visceral as fuck. So that's interesting. Tiny Tina Wonderlands showed some gameplay of that upcoming game. I don't know. Probably when it gets cheaper, I can already tell. For Forspoken, we got a more in-depth trailer showing. I still don't know kind of what the premise of that game is after watching that, but I'm intrigued. I want to see more. Star Trek game by Telltale, or at least former people from Telltale, I believe. Among Us coming to VR. Well, it was inevitable. I'm kind of curious though. Not gonna lie. Among Us in VR. I now have the capabilities. I now can do. I don't even know. I'm trying to wrap my head around how you do this in VR, but I guess it's not necessarily that complicated. We'll see. Rumbleverse, which is, I think, pretty damn interesting after kind of reflecting on it since then. But basically, at least what I thought initially, is that it's a beat 'em up battle royale game, but it's at least supposedly more focused on a pro wrestling battle royale, which is interesting. Just an interesting choice. But I'm definitely interested and I'm curious and want to try it out in terms of just like, what does that look and feel like? You know, a wrestling battle royale game. 40 players, duke it out in Grappital City. Gotta do it. Grappital City. It's kind of cool. That's pretty clever. That's pretty clever. Landing suplexes from the top of tall buildings. Crossfire X is supposedly launching in 2022. And I guess Remedy is doing 2 single player missions. I thought they were fully doing the campaign, but I think maybe they scaled it back. We saw the Halo TV series with Master Chief. This is so ignorant, but when I was watching it, they showed the one you'll know what I'm talking about. They showed evil Dave Chappelle. That's horrible. That's not doing that man justice. He been doing some prolific work. But you know what? I'm gonna look up evil Dave Chappelle. I'm sorry. Evil Dave Chappelle. Is it Bokeem Woodbine? I'm sorry, man. It's like I did not act in all these prolific black culture roles to be just considered Dave Chappelle's evil twin. Is it Mike Milligan? Mike Milligan. No, this is a fictional character. No, I think it's Bokeem Woodbine. Bokeem Woodbine. Yeah, I saw him in it. I was like, oh, it's a black. That's so sad, man. I was watching the trailer at the Game Awards, and they was talking or whatever, you know, showing Master Chief. Then they cut to a black guy. I was like, oh, that's a black guy. It's sad. It's sad that, you know, I don't know, but you know what if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Okay. But yeah, shouts out to Bokeem Woodbine. Sorry you are considered Dave Chappelle's evil twin, but I personally know you're more than that. I just hate to, you know, add kindle to the fire of, you know, having you misrepresented as specifically Dave Chappelle's evil twin, which you're not. You're more than that. I know that. So just had to let that be stated. I'm sorry. Again, shouts out to Bokeem Woodbine, man. Shouts out. Well, on that, we also got a new Elden Ring trailer. It was mainly just, you know, CGI and probably the trailer we'll see before we actually start playing the game when it comes out within the next couple months. What was funny, at least at the Game Awards, they showed that what is his name? I forgot the name of it, but basically the mug that we saw in the previous gameplay trailer, we saw a little miniature mobile version of him giving Jeff the letter to announce, or at least well, that technically the trailer, which was a nice touch. So Um, anything else worthy? Oh yeah, the Matrix. We saw the Matrix Resurrections. Some weird. We saw a clip. I think an exclusive trick, exclusive clip for the Matrix Resurrections, I believe. And then on top of that, we saw I forgot what it's called. The Matrix Awakens, which is, I still don't even know what it is, even after they kind of described it. But basically, it's like some 3D, at least my impression is that it's some 3D reimagining of the original Matrix or something like that. But I feel like even saying that, I'm kind of pretty far off. So it's out now on the PS5 and Xbox X. But that's pretty much all we know. So I'm very curious to see what it is. At least from what I've been hearing is that it's definitely worth checking out. I mean, it's free and it's a demo. I'm curious if it feels like it's gonna maybe suggest a full game at some point or something. I don't know. I'm just purely speculating at this point. But The Matrix Awakens. It's like I don't know what it is. It's some experience with the Unreal Engine 5 or something like that. They really kept instilling that and enforcing that home. So whatever that means, I don't know. But all in all, that was pretty much it for the Game Awards. Overall, at least it felt, at least being there at the show myself, it felt I just really liked the pace. It didn't feel like anything was boring or dragging necessarily. It just felt like everything just kept going one after the other, which I appreciated. I assume just the gamers that are very low in terms of attention span, I think they appreciated it as well. But yeah, overall, it it did kind of feel overwhelming initially. I'm like, man, premiere after premiere after premiere. At least a good amount I was at least interested in. But of course, at least definitely my highlights personally. Alan Wake 2, the Sonic 2 trailer. Oh yeah, I forgot they showed a really interesting game. What was it called? It was called like Head Splitter or something. I think it was made by the people who were part of the original Team Silent, who made the Silent Hill series. I think it was called Head Splitter game. I think it's called Head Splitter. Maybe it's not. It was made by Bokeh Studios. Yeah, Bokeh Studios. It's like, I believe, a Japanese studio. I think apparently they talked about this back in June. I guess maybe during the Summer Games Fest. I think it's called That'd be weird. Head Spitter. Game Awards. We'll try that. Slitterhead. Okay, yeah. So, made by the creators of Silent Hill, and his studio present new horror game to the masses. Slitterhead. I was close. Yeah, and it has the same music as with the same composer, Akira Yamaoka, who made the legendary soundtrack for pretty much majority of the Silent Hill games, if not all. I think. Um, yeah, at least seeing that trailer, that shit was very unsettling. People heads morphing in they mouth, and then towards the end, the lady mouth was like a creature thing, and then it like all engulfed into a normal person's face. I'm like, oh man, oh, I can't wait. I can't wait with hesitancy. Oh man, I can't wait, but I kind of want to wait. But ooh, I can't wait, but who I'm kind of scared. So that was definitely a highlight for sure for me. And yeah, and then they gonna have the nerve to mention Silent Hill from people that made Silent Hill. I'm like, oh shit, is this everybody in that damn audience like, oh shit, oh no it ain't, and then okay, Slitterhead though. So while we on that topic too, apparently it was these like weird hints that Silent Hill might actually be. I think it's a given that it's definitely a thing, but at least the insinuation that Guillermo might be involved, because like during Guillermo del Toro's, like, he was an announcer or a presenter for one of the awards. I think best game direction, I want to say, could be wrong, but he basically said that he literally straight up said that, yeah, we might see Silent Hill's return at some point. I'm like, you can't do that. I mean, you could, Hideo Kojima's a secondhand man. How, what? So that was weird. That was very weird. So I mean, I don't know, man. Them rumors might be true. At least specifically the rumors suggesting that possibly Konami and Hideo kind of buried the hatchet, and actually might be bringing, at least what I would interpret. I feel like obviously if they were to come back together, if Kojima and Konami were to be back together, I feel like they obviously would just go back to making Silent Hills again. I don't think they would just do something completely different. And yeah, so at least, whoo boy, that just based off that implication alone, that is adding some straight gasoline to the fire of suspicion, speculation, and rumors regarding Silent Hill. So pretty just ball teasing, really, just giving everybody blue balls, just with excitement and animosity. At least that's what I interpret it as. So just, that was too on the nose. You can't just do that completely in front of us, as literally you're catering to a whole audience of game fans of games and video game enthusiasts and whatnot, and you just go say, yeah, I mean, yeah, it'd be interesting that like a Silent Hill series would return. Like, you can't just, I'm sorry, that just, I'm overreacting over it right now. Just the thought that actually might be a thing just got me riled up, you know? Yeah, I think pretty much outside of that, that pretty much covered pretty much at least the highlights, at least that stuck out to me for the Game Awards. So again, shouts out to Jeff Keighley. It's literally now the next Christmas for video game fans, where at least it wasn't any like just outright, oh my god, announcements, but I think at least there was a very consistent amount of decent announcements that like at least we weren't aware of, at least maybe that were rumored, but either way were pretty interesting overall. It wasn't anything like, at least consistently as a whole, it wasn't any feeling of like I don't know, just like, this is horrible. It's like a very, like, I guess just in general, it was like a lot of the games they showed I definitely want to play. So I think that's the biggest testament to anything. I guess unfortunately the games we didn't see, which at least I was suspecting, at least specifically now, at least with Neil Druckmann, the creator of The Last of Us at Naughty Dog, I thought maybe he possibly would have gave us that Last of Us Factions multiplayer, but we didn't get that. No Resident Evil 8 DLC. No Final Fantasy 16. I feel like that's just going to be its own dedicated event at this point. No Resident Evil 2-3 Director's Cut. Damn it. Had some hope, but I guess not today. I think that's it. At least ones that I suspected. Yeah. No Persona. No Persona. Persona 5 ports. Or other Persona ports in general, I guess, outside of Persona 4 Arena Ultimax or something like that, where it's basically a fighting game based with the characters from Persona 4, which maybe there's probably some group of people that are excited about that. Oh yeah, freaking I forgot about that. Final Fantasy 7. They finally announced that the game is finally coming to PC. I think December 15th. So there's that. I mean, I want to know more details. I hope it comes out on Steam soon. I mean, I just don't like the fact that Epic is trying to make me dissect or split my game library, where, you know, I just am used to just one general collective library of games. I mean, of course, there's games with cross origin and Uplay and all that, but stop it. Oh, but I mean, on top of that, Epic now has a cart function, so glory to be. You can now, put multiple items in your cart and purchase that way. So, for what that's worth, glory to be. Oh, thank goodness. I was buying so many games at Epic Store. I need a more efficient way to do this. Well, we got you. Here's a cart. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. So, all in all, I really enjoyed it. Cannot wait for next year. Next year is probably going to be insane, I think. Just considering all the games that were pushed back from that were at least projected to come out this year but did not. 2022 is about to be packed. Let me tell you. At least for games, it's going to be just packed. Going to be a literal battle royale in of itself. Yeah. So, also shouts out to Halo Infinite. They won, I think, the Player's Choice Award. So, I mean, I guess you can possibly maybe factor in the fact that it just came out, the single player campaign, yesterday. So, I don't know about that, but yeah. Cool. Moving on. So, Sony was seeing all that money that Xbox Game Pass is making, and they were like, wait a minute, hey, I don't like that. No, no. And so, at least rumor has it, of course, by the infamous reporter rumor. I feel like rumor monger is a little too negative, but holder of scoops, Jason Schreier, speaking specifically in regards to Sony, that they're supposedly planning a new subscription service codenamed Spartacus to take on Xbox Game Pass. It's being pitched as a 3-tier service that will merge PlayStation Now with PlayStation Plus. The highest tier could include PS1, PS2, and PSP games, which I think it really, if that is the case, I think that definitely has a lot of potential to, if done right, to definitely seriously compete with Game Pass. And like the whole thing with PlayStation Now, I think there is still that big misconception that that service still only does streaming. You can only stream games with that service, but I want to say maybe a couple years ago that they did start implementing for supported games that are at least generally on PS4, or at least the PS2 PS4 compatibility thing, are downloadable, where you can, similar to that Game Pass, where you can actually download the games as well as stream them if you prefer that over, one or the other. For the supported games, obviously for PS3 games that don't have backwards compatibility, you would you would be forced to utilize the streaming functionality to only access that game that way, since that's obviously the only way. Well, I mean, depending on what this service actually comes to be, but considering how much of a nightmare the PS3 is to emulate in general, I don't see that happening. That'd be pretty dope if it did, but at least if you can't do that, just having PS1 and PS2 and potentially PSP games, that would be definitely a really dope alternative if they can, get a lot of very I guess this really only speaks to me, but if they get a lot of niche PS1, PS2, PSP games, but I mean, just get the essential ones, or at least, according to their data, the games that sold the most, based on a certain set or whatever, that'd be fine too. But at least, what it's considering is that it's gonna be a straight up Game Pass competitor. I'm curious about the tiers and how that's gonna work though, and the price. And I think the tiers and the pricing, I think, is really gonna be the make or break for if this kind of service actually makes it and gets off the ground. But we'll see. I'm curious. Hopefully it does the cool kind of transfer methods that you could do with Xbox. Like if you had an existing gold subscription, it would convert to less years, but it would fully convert over to your whatever tier you have, which I think, I feel like they would have to go that route to not burn people that at least for me, I got PS Plus for until 2026, I think, at least stacking, because you can stack your subscription. At least that's personally what I like to do, especially with all the sales you get on the subscription services every now and then. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It really all comes down to the games, how well the emulation plays, and if you do have the options to stream or download these said games that are, at least as far as we know, supposedly coming to this supposed new service / Xbox Game Pass competitor. But it's very interesting to see Sony actually take a direct competitive approach specifically to Game Pass, which always thought Sony would just be and do their own thing and not necessarily, try to compete with Xbox in this particular avenue when it comes to Game Pass, which is, at least at the moment, pretty compelling service for them to, if this is true, compete with. So we'll see. We'll see. Moving on. It Takes Two. So, of course, the game that did a pretty fair sweep of getting awards tonight at the Game Awards. Supposedly is it's pretty much confirmed. I can't even say that, but is getting running into illegal issues with the company Take Two, where they're basically fighting for copyright of the it is so petty to me, but basically the title of the recently released game from Hazelight Studios, It Takes Two, is being hit by a claim from the company Take Two. Which, I mean, I get it at some point, but at the same time, it's like, that is fucking petty. It's really petty, but and then my other gripe with this is that, like, this game came out like 8 months ago, and then all of a sudden now it's starting to become an issue. I just find that interesting. So yeah, but just to kind of summarize, It Takes Two, the latest game from brothers, a Tale of Two Sons, Joseph Ferris, has been hit by a trademark claim from Grand Theft Auto parent company Take Two. The claim, co-op puzzler about a pair of divorcing parents, was stuck by a trademark claim shortly after being released earlier this year. So I guess maybe it did happen earlier, but maybe we just, as the public, didn't know about it. It has emerged. Record show developer Hazelight was subsequently forced to abandon ownership of the name. In a statement, this is by Eurogamer, this week, a Hazelight spokesperson said that the studio cannot comment on ongoing disputes, but the team was hopeful it will be resolved. So it's still petty. It is so, it just feels very petty. It's like I understand it, but at the same time, it's like, come on now, really? You just, really? I mean, just the term takes two, but it's like, even in the context of the phrase, it's not even used in the same way. It's like, it takes two. But then in Rockstar's context, it's like, okay, take two. It is so fucking petty. It is so petty to me. But I get it. It's still petty, but I get it. I'm curious what is gonna happen. Clearly they've already published the game and it's been distributed and whatnot. Like, what would they be forced to rename the game? Like, what would be a petty counter action? I guess it will still be in the same boat, but it'd be like two it takes, just to be like spiteful and petty, which, I mean, that would be valid, I think, but I guess two it takes. Technically, it wouldn't sound necessarily the same. Just in terms of like the newer, like republished titles of this game, just cheap right like marker on it, just like read this way instead of left to right, read it right to left. Problem solved. just I just envision everybody related to Hazelight just going to miscellaneous stores across the country, just by marker, just simply put in a arrow that goes left, right to left. Just read it this way. Two it takes. Of course. Problem solved. Hazelight, if you want to pay me, you know where to contact me. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All this advice I'm giving out for free, I need to charge. It's ridiculous. I'm sick of it. I'm tired. But yeah, I'm just very curious what is gonna come of this in terms of just how everything is gonna play out. It's gonna be very interesting. Like, will It Takes Two, the original print, now be like what I would assume it would be, like super valuable now that because it was trademarked, now they have to literally change the name, and I guess we'll see. So, just to be sure, you might as well, and as well support this BS that's happening to their company. Just go ahead and get you a copy. I think it's like pretty cheap currently. It's like $20, I think, in various store sources. So, moving on. Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5. So, we haven't got any DLC, single player DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5. But you know what? That just doesn't come off good either way. But we do got GTA Online story featuring one of the main characters himself, Franklin Clinton, in France. So this is they had recently announced this week the new GTA. I don't even know what you call it. It's hard to even like title this, but basically it's called Grand Theft Auto Online: The Contract, which is, at least it seems to be, a new legit, at least what they're marketing it to be, a new story expansion, which I think it's unlike the previous like DLC, like the heists pack or whatever, that this is actually a straight up story going over. I think this takes place like a considerable amount of time since the base game. I think it's like 7 years since the events of Grand Theft Auto 5, which is kind of weird because technically Grand Theft Auto Online, at least initially, takes place before the events of Grand Theft Auto 5. So now with this DLC coming out, it's now 7 years past the events of Grand Theft Auto 5, which is interesting. But so I guess that's what those rumors were pointing to, where I know at least specifically Dr. Dre was mentioned in terms of like he was making music for, at least I guess people automatically assumed it was GTA 6. Nope. GTA 5 again. you gonna take this GTA 5 and you gonna like it. Well, I guess technically GTA Online. You gonna take this GTA Online and you gonna like it. You gonna eat every bit. I don't care if you don't like it. Eat it. You eat it. You can't leave the table until you done. You can't leave the table until you done. You hear me? You can't leave the damn table until you done. I'm sorry, I'm just as you can tell, I'm speaking flashbacks. A horrible parenting flashbacks. And let's just quick side note. Let's stop that I don't even know what you call it. Bad parenting decisions of forcing your child to eat food in order to leave the table. That you in retrospect, that just is such a horrible parenting decision, but I digress. Childhood pain aside. Yeah, it's I think collectively, at least I would assume the majority, at least me myself. I mean, personally, I'm definitely gonna check it out, but I mean, it's always the same issue I have with Grand Theft Auto Online specifically. It's like, oh, hey, a new online GTA Online pack came out, mission pack came out. Okay, let me try to play it. Since I don't generally play with a group of people that at least consistently play this, it's always that issue where it's like, okay, let me try to match with somebody because you can use the quick match feature, whatever, in the game, but it always doesn't feel right. It feels like it's either too slow to match with somebody, or you'll match with somebody and then they'll quit out, and then considering how long GTA Online takes to load between like missions and going back to the free roam, it just really kills the momentum of trying to play and experience the new DLC. So it is it's just, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know. I'm curious to see how the approach will be with this new DLC. I assume it's probably going to be more of the same, but I don't know. Now that's a story. Maybe I'll try to, I don't know, play it more, but it feels like it's going to be pretty much the same thing. Like they'll give you, hey, man, hey, yo, it's your dog Lamar. Hey man, Franklin tripping. Why don't you come over to the crib real quick and we gonna go over this story deal. They literally just, they don't got no shame. Hey man, hey, you know what? I ain't even going to trip with you, man. Let's just go over and just do this story DLC that just got downloaded to your game. We got Franklin in it. He came back. It's 7 years later. Dr. Dre's in it. You know you want to play it, right? And then it's like, okay, all right, okay. You broke the fourth wall. I got to do it now. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be some extensive little cutscene and then probably the same kind of cadence of the previous like DLC. I think the previous notable one before this was like the Capirco heist or Calico heist or something like that, where it's like it was a whole separate island. But yet again, I never played it because like I saw the introductory cutscene and then that was pretty much it. And I was like, then there was a lot of just steps where I was like, I don't want to earn money to just do this, and it was just a lot of barriers that it felt like. So hopefully this DLC may be better and avoid those like holes and I don't know, speed bumps in terms of trying to actually get into this DLC. And I think generally the issue with the GTA Online is obviously it involves other people, but it would be cool if they had some way that, you know, I don't feel like dealing with people and trying to coordinate stuff and just play it by myself, just to at least experience the story. Don't even care if you give me, if you just cut like my money that I would earn otherwise by like a half or a quarter, whatever. I just want to experience the DLC just by myself so I can just get through it and not have to worry about coordinating people disconnecting, trying to find that person to play and all that. You know what I mean? So, which I'm pretty sure is like the general, I think, issue people are having with all this stuff being tied to GTA Online, is that it just has that barrier where, you know, we're like, all of us are adults now. We don't got the same time schedules we used to when we were younger, coordinating stuff. Hey man, hey, you want to play this time? No man, I got I gotta take care of my baby all day because I mean I'm a father now, so I don't know what to oh man, I'm sorry, man. You know what? My bad, so hey, it's harsh reality of growing up. Way more difficult to coordinate stuff. But I digress. Hopefully, I'm curious that this might be different, but my hopes, expectations are very low. That there will probably be more the same. So I'm gonna still probably give it a shot, more than likely though. But I mean, let's go over the quick or at least the description. Welcome to F. Clinton and Partner, a new celebrity solutions agency catering to the Vinewood elite in need of solutions to high society problems. Franklin needs two things: a reliable partner and a big ticket, high profile client with your longtime LS contact, and newly aspiring cannabis entrepreneur Lamar Davis making the connection. You can be the partner that helps Franklin take the business to the next level. So, Dr. Dre is a close friend. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, DJ Pooh has been reaching out to Franklin about an excited and potential client, his close friend, Dr. Dre. It's like, that don't even make sense, but all right. His close friend, Dr. Dre. Lost in the shuffle on his way to the Cayo Perico last year, so that, I guess, some continuity from that heist DLC. It turns out Dr. Dre's phone isn't just missing, it's in the wrong hands. I don't know why that's oh man. Not only that, but the phone also contains the hottest property in the city, new unreleased music from Dr. Dre himself. This could be the big break your agency needs. I don't know. Yeah, it definitely seems a lot like the other DLCs, where it's just that difficult barrier to entry. Hey man, if you got hopefully you got like $5 million to make this hideout, and then when you make that hideout, you got to recruit 25 people to join your hideout, and then when you do that, then you can play the story DLC. How does that sound? Like, I'm good. I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm just gonna play some Halo. I'll see you later. You trying to coordinate it with somebody? I'm just gonna play some Halo. I'll see you later. So we'll see. I don't know. My expectations are low, but I would like them to be surpassed. Yeah, surpassed. You know what? With that being said, that concludes the news for this week. Let's get into what I've been gaming. What I've been gaming. You already know. Halo Infinite multiplayer. Been playing that like crazy this past week. Is good, man. Halo is back. I think I said that last episode, but you know what? Halo is back. Just gotta say it again. Just for the reinforcement. Halo is back. You hear me? Halo is back. Really enjoying the multiplayer. It feels good. It feels just tight. It just feels good, man. I guess the only way I can describe it. It feels like Halo. It feels like Halo, which I feel like that's the best compliment you could give this game, considering, the weird choices of the previous game, like Halo of Duty with 5, which as a Call of Duty fan, I did actually enjoy. I probably said that too, but and then what else? Halo 4 was Halo 4 also kind of had that similar kind of cadence too with the what do you call it? Damn it. The what is it? The ordinance, which is basically like the kind of taking the role of kill streaks from the Call of Duty games. So, I mean, you got that, and I don't know. It I as somebody who enjoyed both of those, but I understand people's sentiments where it's like, it didn't feel like Halo, which to some extent I don't know, but Halo Infinite is back. It is back. So I think last episode, I think I ranked, and I got to platinum, which at least for those that don't know, at least the tiers is I think bronze, gold, silver, gold, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, onyx. So at least I initially placed with I'm trying to remember what was it called. Platinum 3, I want to say. Actually made my way to diamond. Oh, that diamond. It felt good. It felt great. And I guess just to talk a bit more about the rank system with Halo, I feel like this is a very fair system, at least from what I've played, where you do slowly progress. You slowly progress, but if you lose, it's not the end of the world, I guess. If you lose consistently, it is the end of the world. But basically how it works is that and I think why I like the ranked over a lot of the other modes is that it judges your singular performance rather than like if you win or lose, which I think a lot of the other ranked games do, where it's strictly solely on if you win or lose. If you lose a catastrophic amount of points. If you win, you gain probably I think it depends on the game, but I mean I feel like you earn less if you win, but you lose a lot more if you lose, which I don't think is the best way to, like, I guess try to rank people, which I think the approach with Halo Infinite's rank mode is definitely probably the best I've seen in a while. As somebody who's not generally played a lot of the rank modes in a lot of multiplayer games, I generally at least go to like a, social playlist that doesn't strictly go on rank. But at least with this system, it feels like it's definitely more realistic, I guess, in terms of performance. Cause like, I think my biggest issue with ranked is, especially if you are somebody who solo queues, which I pretty much do whenever I do play ranked, is that you solo queue with somebody, they either quit or, you the only one playing your heart out, and then they you lose, and then well, sorry, good luck. Then your rank, you lose a rank because of that. But I like this one. It's like you probably the only person playing your ass off, and then you actually do get rewarded if your performance is like, I think, above average or whatever. It's some very mysterious algorithm that it seems like that's calculating how many points you should get after a game you played, whether you win or lose. But I mean, I think either way, you definitely get a lot more points if you win a match versus lose, but still play your ass off, you don't lose as much. So at least based on that, I've definitely progressed way more than I think I would in other ranked matches, ranked games in other games, ranked modes in other games. And at least currently I'm still struggling in Diamond 2, trying to, there's 6 tiers for each, 6 levels for each tier. So there's like At least where I'm at, there's diamond 1 through 6. I'm on level 2. So the goal is to get to level 6, where I would get to onyx, which is, at least to my understanding, the max level, where, I'm curious how it works when you get to onyx, if what happens after that. But I think they just give you an invisible bar or something like that. But either way, that's when you've made it. It's like there's nowhere I can go from here when you reach onyx. So that's kind of my little goal to do at some point, maybe over the holiday break, to get sweaty and put my try hard pants on and get sweaty and try to go for onyx. But yeah, man, it's been pretty fun. It's been pretty fun. Yeah, it feels like all of my Halo muscle memory has like helping me in Halo Infinite, which I think is just more so a testament to how much Halo is back in terms of just the feel, vibe, fundamentals that has always been with Halo, if that makes sense. But Halo is back. Halo is back. It really is. Halo is back in full effect. It's like like in Halo 2 and 3 days when I think I got to level 49. I think level 49 is the highest I've got. I think the max is 50. And yeah, man, it just feels like them good old days of just getting sweaty. Just sweating, man, why'd you do that? Also, again, I've probably said this before, but play the fucking objective. All right, that is my one of my gripes, at least in my experience playing so far. Play the fucking objective, please. For the love of God, play the fucking objective. Thank you so much. Also, don't quit. I think maybe in some cases, maybe people just disconnected. I think that's a gripe too I have with the current ranked system. I know it's probably something in the works to fix it, but in terms of the ranked, where if you, let's say worst case scenario, you're playing a ranked match and you get disconnected from whatever reason, that's, out of your control. And at least to my knowledge with Halo Infinite, you can't connect back, which is a feature like that's been in like since Gears 5. You can connect back if you got disconnected from a rank match, which I'm pretty sure they're probably going to implement it at some point. But it is crushing because like literally you'll start a match, somebody quit or got disconnected, and then you're just screwed. You're playing like 2v4 or 3v4, but at least my mentality is like, hey, fuck, I'm just going to play my ass off and try to not lose as many points, because it's like I know we're going to lose at this point because we're at a severe disadvantage, and these people sweating and I'm sweating too, and they got more players. It's not going to be good. So it's frustrating but funny at the same time. It's like, you know what? I'm going to go out in grace. If I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out in grace. So all in all, very much thoroughly enjoying Halo Infinite multiplayer. Halo is back. Halo is back. Moving on. Also, finished Lost Judgment as well. Finished the I think last episode I talked about how I was fighting Joe Amon, or I mean he's generally referred to as Amon. He's has the Amon family has a lot of members, and various members and instances in all the various Yakuza games, and Amon was beating my ass. So I was like, you know what? Let me just farm a bit. I was just farming enemies and ranking up. And when I finally did that, Then just finished a first for me, at least. I finished the main story and then went back and did the DLC. Well, not the DLC, but the last sub story, which is Amon. But normally I just complete all the sub stories and then finish the story. But it's like this dude was beat my ass. You're like, you know what? Let me. You know what? You can have this. I'll be back. And then to get some of the XP and stuff from playing the story. And technically that probably is the way you should do it, considering like Amon is literally the hardest dude in each game in terms of a boss, but he beat my ass. So normally it's some method you can kind of trick or exploit and get him, which is also the case here. My initial plan was to use extracts, which are kind of like buffs, power-ups that you can use in this game that, depending on the context, you can like severely break the game in terms of like, you know, stuff you can do with it. But you know what? I actually just went back to the fundamentals, just parrying, at least whatever the similarities is to Kiryu's infamous Komaki Tiger Drop, Yagami's, I don't even know what you call it, but use that. It's this one style that like launches them up, and then you can exploit a lot of combos from that. So basically it was a mix of that, some YouTube research, of course. And after that, ultimately defeated him. Disgraced him and his family. That's how much I defeated him. So, but yeah, at least going back to the story, if it felt very resolute, maybe conclusive. Felt very conclusive, which I really did enjoy. The story definitely had a pretty good payoff. I felt like all of the questions I had did resolve, and yeah, everything just fell into place in a nice little neat bow tie. But overall, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Lost Judgment. I'm still up in the air about it being my game of the year. I don't know. I feel like I have a suspicion that Halo Infinite might take it over, but at least as far as now, not putting Halo Infinite into consideration in the equation. Currently, it feels like my game of the year so far, but that'll be yet to be determined. I think next week, since it's probably going to be very slow, we'll probably delve into game of the year discussions. Personal game of the year. So, yeah. Moving on. Vice City, GTA Vice City. So after the two big substantial patches came out, since I dropped Vice City, since I was fed up after at least in retrospect, pretty bad experience for GTA 3 pre-patches. Yeah, I was like, the game crashed on me twice. The mission design is irritating. It's like, you know what? I'm good. I'm all right. Maybe when you patch yourself up a bit, I'll come back. And, they patched themselves up, and I was like, you know what? Let me come back. And it's definitely better, way better in a lot of ways. Thankfully didn't crash in my entirety of playing it. So that's good, which is, I hate the fact that I have to say, oh man, thank God the game didn't crash. It's like, I should not be saying that, but anyway, yeah, beat the game. And I think I remember the game being way longer in my head. I think that's the case with a lot of stuff, but at least specifically for Vice City, I remember it being very long, but I playing the game again, I can definitely remember why the game was long, was because when you're towards the game at a certain point, the mission, not to spoil anything, but there's a mission strand where you are required to buy a decent amount of the properties, which in turn forces you to do certain missions for those properties that can technically take a lot of more time if you don't do a particular exploit. Well, not really exploit, but I guess it kind of is. I don't know. It's in the game, but it feels very exploitative, if that makes sense. But I did not know that playing this originally, but at least now I'm like, man, I saved like probably a good 5-6 hours out of the game trying to earn money, because each property you get is more expensive than well, at least how it's tiered. There's like different tiers of properties that some are very expensive, some aren't as much, but a fair amount of money. But there's this exploit where it's this one secret mission you can do like on a parking lot called I forgot what it's called, cone something, where you basically test your skill of driving between cones and not destroy them. And basically if you have to exploit the game to an extent where you like drive past the cones and you basically manipulate the game to like do do the most time possible to get through the cones, and then each other iteration you do it gets a bit harder, and then you want to do it a bit faster, like by a second each time. And pretty much when you do that, it like multiplies the money you get. Like it feels like exponentially each time, to the point where like at least the maximum I think you can like at least physically do is like 400, almost 500 grand. So pretty much did that, and that literally gives you pretty much enough money to buy all the properties in the game, which after doing that was like maybe about half an hour to a half hour. And then I was able to buy all the properties and do all the missions. And that, I think that in conjunction with the checkpoint system made the game way faster and saved a lot more time. So yeah, now with that in place, yeah, I beat the game like in a, well, I played a lot. I played a good amount of time before I dropped the game pre-patch, but after the patch, it was maybe about an additional 4 to 6 hours, I think, and beat the game after that. I mean, there's of course a lot of miscellaneous stuff and hidden stuff you can do, but I'm like, I'm good. I'll wait maybe till more patches come out, and if I'm in that trophy achievement hunter achievement hunter phase, maybe, but it's like I'm all right. So overall, fun trip down memory lane, listening to some of my favorite tracks I used to love, except Michael Jackson. Thanks, Rockstar. Still cannot forgive you for that. I know I'm giving them a hard time. That's probably not their fault, but anyway, I digress. Then, also played a bit of the Halo Infinite campaign that came out yesterday, technically. So, only played maybe about a couple hours. But I mean, Halo campaign, I mean, Master Chief, hey, I need a weapon. It's like, I know you need a weapon, Master Chief. I know it. I know you don't got to tell me. I know it. At least from where I played, I'd say it's hard to even like fully develop impressions, But I mean, it feels good. This Halo, but single player, got me got a nice little cutscene at the beginning, kind of a bit, pretty much what we saw in like the E3 trailers, and then there's pretty much, I forgot where I'm at. I think I'm still on this ship trying to get off, but yeah, I mean, it feels like Halo. I mean, so it feels like Halo. But again, I haven't gotten to what I'm guessing is going to be like the open slash open slash linear worlds, kind of like, at least my concept in my head is kind of similar to Uncharted, where there's like linear, the game is primarily linear, but there are certain areas where you can actually free roam, kind of like a traditional open world game. But I'm guessing that's what it's going to be for Halo Infinite, but at least not playing too much to get the concept of that. But I'm encouraged. I'm interested. And I guess we'll see. So yeah. Halo is back. I mean, I only played 2 hours, but Halo is back. So at least this specifically is the multiplayer. I'm just saying. But, and that concludes at least what I've been playing this week. Let's get into what I've been watching, which of course, Hawkeye episode 4. Pretty good episode. Left off where episode 3 picked up where episode 3 left off. And pretty good, especially towards the end. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, I'm very curious now as well, considering that I think this week we did get confirmation that Charlie Cox, who plays Daredevil on the Netflix series, is they use some very what's the word? Very suggestive wording. They said, like, if we were to make a Daredevil, Charlie Cox would be that character. So it's like, so you mean Charlie Cox is in the MCU now? And that's pretty much the implication. So, which also leads to a lot of speculation within this Hawkeye series, because there are some references to the possibility of Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, being potentially Kingpin from the Daredevil series. I think Vincent D'Onofrio. So we'll see. And then the timing is very, very convenient, because I think this is the last episode, or I think there's 6. But either way, this next episode, episode 5, is gonna align with the premiere of Spider-Man Far From Home, or No Way Home. So I know there's been some speculation that there's gonna be some very interesting crossover, especially since technically both the Hawkeye and the movie will, in theory, be in the same place. That at least we'll get some hints maybe to the movie with the next episode coming out next week. So I'm curious. Can't wait. Next week is about to be great. Next week is about to be great. If you're a Marvel fan, excuse me, Marvel Cinematic Universe fan. Let me rephrase. I know there's a huge line there. I would assume there's crossover, but there's always somebody that's like, excuse me, they're not the same. They're not the same. Please get it right. Thank you. I don't know. I assume that person exists, but maybe I'm just making them up. Then after that, I did watch that good, old, comforting Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Gotta do it. Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Stone Ocean. Oh, pretty good, have to say. I guess it's weird. I guess maybe Netflix always just throwing that money. At least that's what the impression I got. But what used to be on Crunchyroll, which I'm pretty much the previous series episodes and seasons are still on Crunchyroll to my knowledge. But this new latest season, Stone Ocean, is, at least to my understanding, exclusive to Netflix, and or maybe like timed exclusive or something like that. But exclusive to Netflix. And I guess what's weird to me is that, like, you can literally, the whole season, well, part one, I think, is available to binge, which is it's kind of weird. It feels like the kid that, like, is used to being only get this, only rationing this. All right, you watch 20 minutes, that's it, wait till next week. But now it's like, I don't have to wait. I could just watch it all in one fell swoop. At least I did it in 2 segments. I binged a lot of it when it premiered, and then around when it premiered, and then binged the rest later. But it's more JoJo's. I guess that's the best way to explain it. If you are familiar with JoJo's, then this is pretty much more of that, where it's, how do I describe JoJo's? It's very flamboyant, crazy, funny, dark. Yeah, that's just JoJo's, man. So I mean, if that sounds like something that's up your alley, I mean, definitely let's clear this too, at least as somebody who's watched specifically the anime. I hear this really messed up, at least in my opinion, misrepresentation, stigma, whatever you want to call it, that, like, hey, Stone Ocean's out, man. Hey man, yeah, you can just jump right into this one. And, like, no, don't do that. Of course you have, it's your eyes, it's your mind, do whatever you want, but I personally wouldn't recommend just going straight into Stone Ocean and completely omitting the whole previous seasons of JoJo's. I feel like, what are you doing if you're doing that? But I mean, there's people out there that, like, yeah, the start of JoJo just slow, man. I'm like, no, what are you doing? Are we watching the same anime, or is this maybe something with the English voice actors over the dubbed? What is the subs? Either way, I mean, I just saw that circulating recently online around with this premiering now. Please watch the first season, it pretty much all up until Stone Ocean, because it's great. It's great. Don't do that to yourself. Get help. No, but that was wild to me. But I mean, again, it's a free country. Do what you want. But I mean, if you were to ask me if I should watch the previous season before getting into this, I highly would recommend that. It's just a lot you will miss out on. It's a lot of references to the previous seasons as well. Just not a good idea in my opinion. But again, you do you. Overall though, really enjoyed it. I'm glad. I was so thankful for Netflix, because it was some very irritating cliffhangers that would be pretty just anxiety inducing. Literally a whole week until, at least in terms of the traditional cadence, you would see it. But at least now it's like, oh, you really gonna end it on that? Like, oh, thank God it's Netflix, so I could immediately watch the next episode after, which was great. Because man, it some of the episodes definitely ended on some serious cliffhangers, but really enjoyed it. Really did enjoy it. Jolene Joestar, the newest member of the Jojo line. I made that up. TM. Is great. It's great. I mean, again, that stuff is up my alley. Just the kookiness and goofiness of JoJo's I've always loved and attached to. But yeah, man. Stone Ocean. Do yourself a favor if you're into that stuff. I mean, I get people, maybe not a lot of people are into JoJo's, but I get it and I love it. I love it. The D Wade meme. I love it. I love it. And on that note, that concludes, or I think that will conclude, episode 133 of Switch's Sights. Yeah. You know what? I think it's pretty good to end on. Yeah, at least next week I anticipate it being pretty slow, so expect probably a pretty probably the game of the year game of the year special, where I'll at least dive into that, and maybe if some tidbits of news come out, might cover that. But then probably the week after, probably take a break and go into the new year, start it all over again. But yeah, other than that, I think that'll do it for episode 133 of Switch's Sights. If you did like and enjoy the podcast, feel free to like, rate, and subscribe on your various podcasting and video platforms. You can catch this podcast recorded live on Twitch TV/ASwitch on Thursday evenings, ideally, with exceptions here and there. You can also catch this video archived on youtube.com/ASwitch as well on Fridays. But yeah, until next time, y'all, get your damn game on. Feel free to fuck. Oh yeah. Nobody's safe.